the Singapore government introduced its proposed anti-foreign interference law, aka FICA. Wow! Finally, to shut out all those mouths of those troublemakers who are beside hypocrites, separatists, terrorists, and those who are always want to ruin Singapore every time. If you're gonna let them continue their KPKB every time, Singapore will be in a big mess sooner or later. We don't want unnecessary protests or even riots just because there are some foreigners backing them up, and we shouldn't let any foreigners meddle our local affairs because they have no interest in Singapore. The analogy is very simple. If you and your family are having arguments on certain issues, do you want outsiders to get involved? Like, hey, I saw your husband having sex with someone. Hey, I think you better divorce so you can have half of the property. Something like this, you get what I'm saying? Outsiders will mostly sow discord to your families, and this goes the same for foreign interference. Foreigners just want to make us lose confidence in our government. What is democracy? It's all about the majority choose the government they want. Since we have already chosen who our government is, even you're not one of the voters, why do we need to complain so much? As a matter of fact, we should respect the majority. If not, how can we call this democracy and be able to build the nation together? We do not want an outsider to tell us what to do unless our leaders are already corrupt and want to ruin our country, right? If any outsider criticizes Singapore as a bad country with a bad government, let them be. They can criticize all they want. However, we can't let them interfere with our plans, our issues, and our affairs. Instead, we should let our government decide what they want and how they can progress our nation. And what they want to do is none of our business unless all of us has no homes to stay. Anyhow, we still can criticize our government and let them know what they are doing that we think is wrong. But we shouldn't let any foreigners to take hold of us. Our government is not using FICA to intimidate, harass or shut down criticisms and activisms to leave us with more brittle, less robust societies, but it's a way to protect our country and the people. We need such protection law so that no outsider could sow discord among us. Look at the bloody Hong Kong. It already belongs to China, yet the US government is still interfering until we see Joshua Wong and Dennis Ho keep on rampaging against the Chinese government, and in the end, it's the Hong Kong people who are suffering. Hong Kong is a mess and the properties are destroyed everywhere, and the world has already forgotten about Hong Kong Disneyland. It's all because of those foreign interference. Foreigners can still sing praise and criticize Singapore and its government by all means, but they shouldn't meddle with our affair or interfere with what we are doing. This is the difference between interference and criticism. Interference means someone is trying to stop you from doing something or make you to do something. Where criticisms means someone is saying something bad about you or what you are doing is bad. It's just like you and your boss relationship. If your boss doesn't like your work and say your work is bad, it's called criticism. If your boss keeps on disturbing you how you do your work, it's called interference. So interference is not criticisms and also not influence. As a rule of thumb, foreigners shouldn't get involved in any form of support, whether it's money or any contribution for anyone to go against our government, because we don't really know what their motive is, like how I have used an example of a family argument earlier. But if they want to praise, criticize or influence us about our government, we don't care, man, so long they don't interfere. This is what happened in Taiwan. It's not because of too much US interference. Will there be a sunflower movement that is disturbing the livelihood of the people? The Taiwan political situation is a big mess every day. The Pan-Blue coalition said the green is pro-Americans and the green said the blue is pro-Chinese, and because of this, they keep on fighting against each other violently every day, non-stop. The worst thing is the world is still confused whether Taiwan is a country or not. Very disgraceful. Moreover, Taiwan is in Asia. Why should the US need to interfere so much? Even the Myanmar problem is none of the US business and not even our business to put our nose into it. Hence, we don't want this kind of situation happening in Singapore, right? We just want to enjoy ourselves and a good home to stay. Isn't that what we want?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share. Stay tuned for more to come.